Today I'm going to show you a strategy with the ZAP Titans, Root Riders, Super Bowlers and Druids. So let's go ahead and smash some bases. Alright, we're here on the first attack, and guys, we got one of those double invisibility bases. Now, I was a bit unlucky because this is early Legends, right? We get a lot of very bad bases, so I tried my best to bring you as much base designed as possible, okay? So we have the first one here, and always you want to do a Warden Walk on one of the invisibility towers, but not to take it out, just to take down a certain side of the base like a small funnel, and then the zaps goes in front of the Warden so you can get the value and the funnel. So this is gonna be set. I haven't taken down that ricochet cannon because you cannot take it down with 6 lightning, but you know, my flame finger could end up taking it down. That's why I dropped it a bit on that side. Now we're gonna start our main army right here. So what you want to do is to drop the Titans. You want to go ahead with the bowlers, and as you saw, we only used one druid for the Warden Walk, so there is no need sometimes to use all of them or use 3 or even 2. King on the outside, I wanted him to go completely to the outside. Now we don't have a poison in this army because you got the Titans, just like the Zap Titan attack back in Town Hall 15. I'm gonna go ahead with the jump to give the entire Titan access to the back end. Another freeze for the Town Hall. King, unfortunately, here is coming inside, so this is not gonna make the funnel perfect, so that's why army is gonna go to the outside. Yes guys, you probably never seen me do smash attacks, so this is also sometimes my mistakes maybe. Now we're gonna go with the RC to the area where the Sui or the smash didn't go. That's why we have the invisibility. Sometimes it's gonna be a lot of damage on the RC, but now look at the Root Riders. They are the one to break through for the queen and go ahead and take down that entire area, going with the invisibility on the RC. And this is where, because the king's in on the outside, you can have that, you know, giant gauntlet ability for the back end. So much power. And also the RC, of course, with the haste file and the hog puppet, can demolish that monolith, and the hogs helping out for the back end, and we still got the flame flinger going. So that's where this strategy comes in handy. You can see the Super Bowler is still alive. We lost the Titans and the Root Riders. On some of the attacks, you're gonna see we're gonna lose, for example, Super Bowlers, and we're gonna have Titans for the back end, or we're gonna lose the, you know, Root Riders, but we have Super Bowlers and the Titans for the back end. So that's why I like this army, because it does have a lot of kind of, I would say, HP and damage for the entire base. On the next hit, we have this ring style or core town hall base, basically with the double poison and multi infernos. We also have, of course, foreground expos, as you can see. So what I was planning on this one was a nice Warden Walk in front of the monolith, but not for the monolith. That is important. Now you might be saying, why don't I have the jelly? Well, first thing first, the jelly of my account on these attacks are being upgraded, so that's why I couldn't have it. But one thing is for sure, if you have the jelly, you may not have been able to do this Warden Walk because the jelly wouldn't give you the value. So that's why we're having a different type of Warden Walks if, for example, you don't have the jelly. These Warden Walks are in areas where you are not taking down the defenses. Sometimes you could easily put the Warden on the 12 o'clock. He will take you down that scatter shot on the 12. Now look at this. I'm dropping one druid after a certain amount of time, and look how easy it's healing the Warden. I'm gonna even add another because it's a risk doing Warden Walk in front of the king. He might easily target the Warden, and it's too late to drop the second druid and you might lose the Warden. We're gonna go ahead with the wall break here. I'm gonna have the king again to funnel the main army, Titans, Queen, Bowlers and Root Riders. I'm not dropping the other 2 druids just yet. Notice this, we're gonna keep it a bit going, and later on in the base, when we can see we got damaged, we're gonna add the druids so they can heal back up everything else, and then you can have the Warden ability in the core. This is easy because, guys, you're not using the test loons for the healers. That's why this army has a lot of main push into the base. So Warden ability wanted to keep everything alive going into the core first, because one thing I noticed is that the core afterwards doesn't have as much damage. So my king on the top side will come back around. The queen is gonna go around the town hall poison, which is very good. And this is where on this attack our bowlers died, for example, but we got bears and titans to tank enough for our two heroes that are in the outside and in the core. So now with the flame flinger is there, you can add the RC, it's going to pop, and the Hogs will help the RC as well. You just need to watch out so your RC equipment doesn't really get roasted just like my attack here, but still we are decently going through the base. King is kind of dying, we have the RC going through the back end, we got the queen and also the Hogs from the flame flinger, and yep, that invisibility, I just cooked myself, man. Don't worry about it, don't worry, we're not even gonna pretend it never happened. So that's how we got this base done, and this was a difficult base for me personally because the core always has a lot of damage and I'm not used to the smash attacks, so I have to watch out. So if you are into the smash attacks, trust me, this is very enjoyable for you to first go ahead and try it. But let's move on to the third hit. Okay, on the third attack, now this is again another double invisibility base. It's a lot of them down in Legends League in this few early days. I don't know how I'm getting all of these, but still. Now, what is the plan? I always want to do a flame flinger and a warden walk on two sides so we can send the main army down the middle. So baby dragon for the tank of that archer tower. I wasn't sure if my flame flinger would have got targeted. You know, I'm not used to these flame flinger warden walks, so as you can see, maybe I didn't even need the baby dragon, but you know better than me maybe. So warden, you can see when it's getting the damage, we're gonna add the druids. One druid is healing all the way, and now we're gonna go ahead with that lightning value because I always do this first. So sometimes you may lose on time, sometimes it comes down to time the attacks, and we're gonna see that actually on the next hit. So warden, I added another druid because you can see the HP, the way we are using them, so we are getting those bears a lot later. Warden with the raid gem is a very quick warden walk usually, but sometimes it may take time. Now I'm gonna let the warden go ahead with the queen, and then I'm gonna add the army in front of the enemy queen, but before I drop the king and the headhunter to take it down. Now one thing was for sure is that our flame flinger didn't get the funnel set just yet, so some of the troops might end up going completely to the outside, but they come back. Now again, you have the titans for the CC kill. I'm going to pop the warden because there was a lot of damage in the core. We're gonna go ahead around everything else, and you can rage through that entire area. I added the RC on the right side because we got the flame flinger on the left side, so there is no need to add the royal champion just in front of it, not like the last attack. And now everything gets separated, but if you take a closer look, we have the queen ability, king ability, and also the RC ability with a flame flinger, so everything is under control. Even though the core had a lot of damage and the main army mostly died, but the back end itself, as the last attacks, as like the dragon attacks, you can always clear it with your hero equipment. That's the goal of these attacks, and overall I think that's the goal of mainly any smash attacks. You don't really want to have all your smash alive till the back end. You want to have the core and the damaged area completely blown out, and then you won't have the heroes to clear the last of the base. Now I'm gonna tank this last defenses with a few wall breakers so my Hogs can clear more defenses, and that's the good thing about Hogs and not Yetis inside the flame flinger. Royal champion going to take that wizard tower down, and with her ability basically we are free to get all the rest of the base. But as you can see the time, and as I said, it comes down to time sometimes, so you need to watch out. Don't do that warden walk for too long, and if you have the jelly, you are actually in an advantage because the jelly speeds up the warden walk. But sometimes you have to be sure your choices with the warden walk are not the same. As for example, my choices in these attacks is gonna be a bit different, but I like the jelly a lot more than this pet. So let's move on to the last hit. Okay, last hit. Now I'm gonna show you what happens if things go wrong. Okay, something that I like to keep bringing you when I'm doing these type of videos and the strategy videos is that not always it's gonna be perfect, not always it's gonna be kind of like a crazy finisher. You know, sometimes you might lose on something, you might not see something, and you might actually lose the warden ability. Let me spoil it for you. Yes, so I'm not gonna lose the warden ability in the warden walks, but yeah, let's just look at that ZAP. Nice value. Now we have the warden. I'm not adding the druids just yet because there is no need. This is like a warden walk without anything, so we're just getting the funnel set for our flame flinger to go ahead on the lower side. Now I'm gonna add one druid to just kill the warden a bit higher. Now we're gonna have the queen to take down that warden to the top side and move away from the flame flinger. This is where I need to watch out, because the ricochet cannon, I wanted it to target the root rider, but look at the warden. What is he doing? This is why I don't like smash attacks, because that is not up to you. The way the warden moves around is not really up to you, and look how he just jumped and I didn't see that. So we are gonna go ahead with the warden ability, and I couldn't funnel the king because I got distracted. So everything went wrong till now. Only the flame flinger is doing decent. I'm gonna rage through, and not having a warden ability and the healing tome will cost you guys, so you need to watch out for your warden. And that's why we got the invisibility in the army. You need to make sure you make that warden invisible. Root riders broke through the wall for the main army, and I'm hoping the queen doesn't go there, but the invisibility of the enemy helped me a lot. Queen on the enemy titan, and now she has to then deal with the ice golem before she takes down the town hall. But look the way we are taking down this compartment. One super bowler and the titan with the druid is taking down that entire compartment on the left hand side, and that's how much strong this army in general is. So I'm adding the champion on the town hall. We still got the king's ability for the back end. As I told you, if you don't send the king to the middle, he's going to have the back end ability and crush the base. That's why he's a good kind of finisher, I would say, than just being in the core, because your army would get the core anyway. So there is no need to invest that king's gauntlet in the core as well, because he can be the finisher for the back end. But as I said, the time again. Now, of course, we didn't do a long warden walk, but the time is still an issue because of the way the base is set up. We went around the entire base, our troops went to the outside, we couldn't keep the troops alive, and this is what it comes down to. Now, it's going to be a time fill on this attack. I'm not gonna just waste your 30 seconds, as you know, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the way this strategy works, and if you're into smash attacks, I would highly recommend you try this, because it's just interesting. Imagine showing your clanmates how can you just put all these big troops together, and it's amazing, it's fascinating. You don't need test loons, the druids can easily heal through the entire army with the bouncing heals and stuff. So yeah, let me know what else you want to see on the channel, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care, peace.